first of all, thank you so much for doing this interview. How have you been doing during these complicated times?
I've been fucking busy. Surprisingly, it's just like, well, I mean, the tour got cut short. When was it, like 2 months ago already or something? And immediately after that, like within 2 days, I started to thinking about the stream thing, and we started putting it up. And basically, up until today, there's two things that I've been that has been occupying my time, which is the other one, of course, being the stream thing, and the other one being thinking about the new record, thinking about the new album, because I mean, you gotta use this spare time for something. You just kind of stay at home and just roll your thumbs. So, funnily enough, even though the tour was like cut in half and it will be postponed until next February, like almost a year, I mean, I haven't had any spare time at all. Like, I've been busy as fuck. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you mentioned that you had to postpone your tour and cut it in the middle of it. Can you tell us what went down when you were on the road? I hope it wasn't too much of a chaos for you.
No, it was interesting actually, because we started the tour in mid-February. I think February 16th was the first show. And within the first week, or let's say a week and a half, we were already in Italy. We were playing in Lombardia and Venice and something like that. And few days after that, we went to Austria. And it was only like the gap was only a few days, like 2 or 3 days, and then we heard that in Lombardia, exactly where we were just a few days before, the outburst of the virus started there, and then we were supposed to go there next week to Rome and Florence, but we decided to make a U-turn like 3 hours before the Rome area, and we decided to make a U-turn and cancel those 2 Italian shows, because we thought that if we get caught there in Italy, we are not going to be able to continue the tour if they close the borders or whatever. Little did we know at that time that this whole virus outbreak will actually go all across Europe and the whole world. I mean, we thought we were just saving that week, and we were just saving the tour. So, funnily enough, like a week later after that, we were in Spain, we were in Madrid and Barcelona, or something like that. And like a few days later, after we left Spain, then in Spain the same thing happened. The Corona outburst happened there. So eventually it got up to us, that we actually got to do 20 something gigs, which was exactly like 1 month. And it was like the mid of March when we had to stop. We were still, that was one Saturday when we were still playing in Leipzig, Germany, and we were supposed to play Stuttgart on Sunday evening, but instead I found myself on my home sofa, on my home couch on Sunday evening, rather than Stuttgart on stage. That was interesting. That was fucking weird. I gotta tell you that because it all happened so fast. Even though obviously, I mean, we were the last weeks of the tour, we were still checking out like every single day. It was a struggle, and we didn't know if the show is gonna happen or not. But obviously, we didn't cancel anything anymore. We were just waiting for the official statements and the venues and the locals and the administrators of each country and city and area and counties and whatever, for them to make the decision. And I know that it's the same thing with venues and promoters too, that they are, nobody wants to cancel anything or postpone anything before it is before it is the only choice, so. But yeah, it was interesting.
A lot of bands or some bands who were on the road during the same period and in the same area, they got sick. I hope everyone in Lordi stayed healthy.
Like the good thing is that none of us is healthy to begin with, and everybody's sick, so. Nah, I mean, on tour, I mean, everybody who tours, I mean, you know that you're going to get a flu at some point of the tour. And I would say that most of us, or let's say at least half of us, got some sort of a flu already, during the tour. And some people in our crew and in our band, they even think that maybe they even had the corona already, but did it had a real mild version or mild reactions to that. I don't know if that's true, if they got the corona or not. I'm good. I was good, and most of the crew and the band was older than, nothing more than little sniffy nose and shit like that. But I honestly, me personally, I don't think that none of us got the corona. Because, well, it's like I'm. Here's the thing. I'm not afraid. It's really difficult for me to relate to people who are really fucking scared about the corona, for example. I understand it and I take it very seriously. But for me personally, I'm not afraid of it. I mean, if I get it, I'll get it. And if it's serious to me, then it is. And if it kills me, then it kills me. There's no use of worrying about that. Before it happens, and so that's my motto in life. The only thing that I'm worrying about, that if I have it and I don't know it, and if I for example, if I give the disease to my mom, who's like over 80 years old, and I don't know it, because then it could be fatal to her, So that's my only concern about the corona situation personally, But of course I take it seriously. I'm not, going around hugging people for no reason, and shit like that, But then again, for me, because I live in the middle of a forest, I rarely have any human contact anyway, on a daily basis. I don't see people. I enjoy my solitude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the only place where I see people, if I go to the grocery store or go to Prisma or whatever, I go to, get some food or whatever, and I go to see my mom or something like that. So I'm used to the whole isolation thing anyways. So yeah, it's just, I mean, one could even say that I could, in my normal routine life, corona has no effect. It's no different to me.
Yeah, it sounds very Finnish.
Well, yeah, because for Finns, it's the corona distance, social distancing is pretty natural. I mean, we are, have you ever seen a fucking bus stop in Finland that there are people are actually standing next to each other? No, we don't fucking do that. We have fucking 2 meters at least between us, anyway. So it's like, this is a natural fucking disease for Finland, and we don't fucking care. I mean, it's really, it's like, social distancing. What is it? It's the standard. It's the default setting of a Finn, the social distancing already.
Anyhow, you last time we talked, you had recently you were about to release Killection, and now you have done, and you have even played some songs live. How was the experience playing these songs live?
Good, as always. I mean, it's always fun to play new songs. I mean, but it's completely different to play the songs in the studio, and especially at the rehearsal loft, when you compare it to playing in front of a live audience on the shows. Because then, like, half of the experience is, of course, it is done by the audience and the crowd and their reactions. And once again, me and the band, I mean, we were wrong. We decided to play the song, what the hell is it called? Blow My Fuse, because we thought it's like one of the band favorite songs on the album, and we noticed that song that actually didn't go that well with the audiences, I mean, fuck. And then we keep hearing that, hey, you should play Cutterfly. Why don't you play Cutterfly? Well, we decided not to play Cutterfly on that tour, so we didn't rehearse it. But that's how it. Well, I was about to say sometimes goes, but that's how it usually goes. Most of the times it goes like this, that the fans and the band, we have different opinions on the favorite songs on every album. But yeah, I mean, always good to play new songs. But yeah. Yeah, and we will continue playing the new songs again next year when the tour finally continues in 1 year. Yeah. Well, actually, now I have to correct myself, because there is still a chance. There is still a chance that we will continue the Finnish leg in September. Actually, that is the only part of the gigs and the shows that have been postponed to this year. Everything else, all the festivals, every single performance that we have agreed on this year have been postponed to next year, to 2021. But the Finnish shows are still in the air. They might happen in September. But, well, of course, that is all up to the Finnish government, and that is up to the Finnish corona situation, if those things are going to happen or not. Well, yeah. We'll see.
You're obviously also organizing a 3-hour live stream. And you mentioned that it won't be a typical Lordi gig, and it's not going to be a typical streaming concert. So what do you have in store for the fans?
Well, this is like completely different than what we would usually do. The point being that I found it quite embarrassing it's like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. It's awkward in a way to watch a band playing live when there's no audience. That just feels wrong, and it feels awkward and clumsy. So we decided not to do that. That was one thing, and another thing that is actually something that we cannot help the situation. Because when our tour got cut short, we have to leave all of our equipment, all of our gear in Germany. It's right there, right now, even in Germany, behind the closed borders and everything. Yeah, because it was so fast. Like I said, we were in Leipzig on Saturday, and on Sunday we were already back in Finland in our homes. So everything that we have for the show is in Germany right now. So what can we do? What can we do that is worth watching? So, well, there we go. We go to the complete other extreme. What we're doing now, since we don't have the show, we don't have the stages, we don't have the wings or any effects or anything. So we're sitting down in a ring with all the time we have. We're at least 3 hours. That's a promise, and we are playing songs as if we were at the rehearsal loft, shooting breeze and talking bullshit and smoking cigarettes, and we let the fans decide the set list. Not all of it, but most of it. We ask their opinions and their wishes, and we base the set list for the stream based on those requests. That means that we had to rehearse a lot of songs that we have never ever played before, or the last time we played those songs were like maybe 2004 or something. So, it was a handful. That was a mistake. Just that. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a different kind of Lordi related experience, because even though we look nice and we look pretty, we are not going to be jumping around like crazy, because that's not the whole thing. We're actually sitting on bar stools and playing the gigs playing the songs to each other in a way, and to the fans, of course. And between every song we get questions from fans, and we will answer. And we are not in a rush at all. We are going to take our time now to take it easy. And if, for example, if we fuck up some song, we might play it again. Okay, well, we fucked it up. Let's try it again. Because honestly, like I said, many of those songs are the kind of songs that we have never ever played before, and many of those songs are meant to be B-sides or bonus tracks. So they were written, or they were done and arranged in a way that we saw that we would never ever have to play them live. But now, since we asked, and the fans told us what songs they want to hear. Now we are playing them live, and there are a few songs that are actually, they turned out to be more difficult to play than we thought. Not technically, but just to get it working. To get them working, properly. But as always, I always say the same thing. But we try our hardest not to suck. That's what we try.
Yeah, this is indeed like a very different kind of experience, especially because you're used to play on such big stages all over the world. How are you looking forward to it?
I am, because it's gonna be loose, and it's gonna be relaxed. That, at least I think so. It will be, because then when you do a Lordi show, everything is timed to a second, pretty much. That we know that, okay, next song we're gonna have to do this, and then there are the wings, so then there's the saw, then there's some other effect, or there's the drum solo with the confetti or whatever. There are all these kind of little factors that we have to remember, that have nothing to do with the music, so that when you're playing the songs, you have to concentrate on the playing and performing the songs, but also there's the stage effects and stage performance things also that you need to think of. So this is completely different. Now we can actually just concentrate on the performance. It's only to play and play those songs. So I'm very much looking forward to it, even though we had 2 long rehearsals for the stream, and the last one being on Sunday a few days ago. It's gonna be hard on my voice. I tell you. I mean, it's no problem doing like a hour and a half, 2 hours. No problem. It's live songs. It's not a problem, and it's not even a problem to do 3-hour live stream. And doing like 20 something songs. It's not a problem, but the length of the whole thing, that we're going to do it in 3 hours, or if it goes over 3 hours, then it goes. If we are not going to cut short on any songs. If the time goes by and the time flies, then we'll just make it longer. It doesn't matter. But it's gonna be, in some ways, it's gonna be more difficult than a normal Lordi show, because at least then that it's gonna be done in 1 hour and 40 minutes or whatever. This won't be done until the last song is played that we decided to play. And we will answer, or try to answer, at least as many as the fans questions that we're getting there on the show. We have a host on the show too, who's kind of like keeping up the conversation. And we have already shot like inserts for the stream, so it's so there's a little bit more content to it than your typical standard stream. You might think. So there's more to it. It's more like a Lordi TV show. It's like it's a Lordi Studio Live with extras, and we have some cool people saying hello for the Lordi fans. We have some, we have like Lordi Schneider, we have Michael Monroe, we have Bruce Kulick, and people like that.
Right, that sounds very, very cool. So I'm down to my last question, but I remember that you don't really like it when people ask you if you have last words. So instead, I'm going to ask you, how can fans support Lordi directly? Is there like a way to donate money, or is it important that they listen to your music or buy merch, or?
Well, it's the way to support us, Lordi at the time, is to buy the tickets for the stream. That's the thing. Many people have been asking us actually that why some bands are doing it for free, and why are we, why do our Lordi fans have to pay for the ticket? Well, here's the thing. Have you ever gotten in for free for a Lordi show unless you're working there or you're part of a media or something? Of course, obviously, we want to get paid for our work. It's like, that's what. And there's a lot of expenses also. I mean, because we're trying to do it in a professional way with a professional film crew and production company and technicians, so it looks good, so it doesn't suck ass, so it, it sounds good, it should sound good and it should look good. So yeah, so the best way to support the band at the moment is obviously to buy a ticket if you're interested in Lordi, because there are people who are actually asking that, is it going to be on YouTube? No, it's not going to be on fucking YouTube. And the second we will see that it's on YouTube, we will take it out from the YouTube. That's the point. It's not. We are not doing this for free. I mean, it's like, for some people it is impossible to understand that bands are not doing it, for. This is our job. This is our livelihood. This is what we're doing. It's like for some people, it's impossible to understand that musicians need to pay their rent and buy their food too. There are expenses to living for musicians too, and it's just crazy because there are people who think that if it's on the internet, it should be free. Well, not in our case. No. So yeah, to go back and to conclude this answer, yes, the best way to support Lordi at the moment, if you want, is to buy the ticket for the stream and watch it if you want to. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview, and best of luck with your show.
Thank you. We're gonna need some luck because it's there's like I said, difficult set list for the band. Yeah.